Do some more with arrays today and see how they work. And we'll get some more practice with these two-dimensional arrays. So remember, an array, especially if it's a two-dimensional, it's a list of lists. So it's a big list, and you have smaller lists inside of it. And you can have three-dimensional arrays or four-dimensional arrays. We're not going to get into that. I think two is about as large as we're going to get. And a way to think about them is like a spreadsheet. So what we're going to do today is we're going to do names, ages, and video games. And I'm just making this up, so we'll see what we can do. So I'm going to say that my array, and you don't have to call it my array. That's not what you have to call it. You could call it today array. So we have a list started here with a bracket. Now we're going to do another list. So let's have Mr. Saba. Remember to put a comma. And he's 102. And his favorite video game, that's the only one he plays, is Pac-Man. So let's, I don't know if there's a space or a dash in Pac-Man, but we'll do that. Then we're going to put a comma. Now notice when I hit return, it'll tab over. And this is nice because it keeps everything very, very organized. Okay, let's have Mr. West. I don't know how old Mr. West is. We'll say he's 35. That's a guess. And maybe he plays Minecraft. And he plays Fortnite. And he plays Candy Crush. That's a game, right? I don't play a lot of video games, so at least I haven't for many, many years. So notice he has 3 games, but Mr. Saba only has 1. And that's all right. It's not a problem here. And then I don't know who else we'll pick on. We'll pick on Miss Shaffern. And I'm not sure how old she is, so we'll say 25. I think she's a little older than that, but we'll give her that. 25. And maybe she plays Flappy Birds. And Madden 2020. They still make those Madden football games? We'll pretend they do. It doesn't matter. Now notice, when I hit the bracket, it showed me the list, but it only showed me Miss Shaffern's list. I need to end 2 brackets there because I need to end the whole big list. Okay, so then I can say for person in today array, because that's what I called it. So when it says the first person, it's going to pick up Mr. Saba and only Mr. Saba's list. Then I'll say for the items that are in person, let's print the item. Now, let's put a tab in there. Let's see if we can do things a little neater than what we did in our previous video. So that /t puts a tab. If I have the slash in the wrong direction, well, we'll go back and pick that up. No problem. We'll go back and fix that. Now, I'm going to want all of Mr. Saba's data on the same information. So I'm going to have end equals nothing. What that does is end equals nothing suppresses a line break. So to suppress something, like you can get a cough suppressant, it means it keeps it down. It stops it, or it stops it from being a problem. And we'll probably want to print a blank line in here somewhere. So we can certainly do that as we need to. And then let's see if that works. So I'm going to save it. I'm just saving everything as the same name. So again, for person in today's array, it should pick up the first person. For item in person, it should print the first item, the second item, the third item, and however many we have. You can see we have more video games for Mr. West than we do for Miss Shaffern or Mr. Saba. And let's give it a run here. So F5. Look how nice that is, too. By using that tab, I got everything to mostly line up pretty nicely. Now, the only thing that would be a problem is if one of those names were too long, like if I did Flappy Birds and it was too long, it started to come over here. Then I might have to do some adjusting. But just with that simple /t, it prints pretty well. Okay, so that looks pretty good. And now let's do a store inventory. And this one's going to be more complicated. So it's still a two-dimensional array. So print, oops, and I wasn't tabbed over. Did you see that? This program prints a store inventory. So let's say for I in range, oh wait, we got to do one thing yet. Let's create a blank array. I don't know if we've ever done this before. What we're doing, yes we have. We've created blank lists. But now it's going to be a list of a list, which we're calling an array. And as I said, there is a specific array module in Python, but we're probably not going to use it. I think it's nice to do it with arrays. It's a nice simple way to do it, and it teaches you a lot about lists. So we're going to say for I in range 3. So let's take a look here at our product line. We're going to make this a blank list too. This is going to be the list that goes inside of inventory. So we're going to do item equals input, enter the item. No, is it frozen pizza? Is it Hot Pockets or whatever it is? Then we're going to have price. Now the problem with price is it has to be a float because it has to be enter the price. Because that has to be a number, you know, it could be $2.99 or whatever that is. And we're going to be able to get 3 products here. We could change that if we wanted to, but we're just going to do 3. So we're going to do product, append the item, product, append the price. So we can put both of those in product. Then we're going to put the whole product list, inventory.append product. So I need to talk about this. First we get the item, put it in product. Get the price, put it in product. Get the product, put it in inventory. Then we're going to print the whole thing out. We're going to say for item in inventory, every item that's in our inventory, and then we're going to just do for, let's call it item 2 in product. Let's print item 2. Actually, let's do this a little differently. We know we only have 2 things in there, so for each item in the inventory, we're going to print item sub 0. Let's put a tab in there just to hopefully make it look nice. And then item sub 1. So that should hopefully be the product and its price. And we're going to see how it is. So let's say we're going to buy tea, and that's $2.99. We're going to buy pizza, and that's $5.78. And we're going to buy ice cream, and that's $2.25. And there we go. Now notice that the ice cream price is tabbed over. We could fix that with formatting. That's a little bit more complicated. I'm not going to get into that right now in this video. So we made a blank list. We made another blank list. We put some things into the blank list. And then we printed the whole, and we put the smaller list in the big list and printed the whole thing.